Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another session on asset litigation. My name is Oluwatosin Isaac. I want to welcome you guys, and how has been your day? If you are just watching this, whatever time, morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this right now, I hope your day is going well. Okay, today we'll be looking at a topic that has to do with pensioners. Yes, we are looking at pensioners, pension, retirement saving accounts today. Our topic is access to retirement savings accounts by pensioners. Now, what are the new guidelines as regards access to retirement savings of pensioners or by pensioners? Now, first of all, before we even dive into the topic, before we explain the new guidelines that the Commission has introduced, let us just trace it back a little. Let's go back a little bit. Let's just go back. And let's start from the fact that why is there pension? What is pension? How do people get pension? How is pension even accumulated? And they'll say, okay, fine, this is your pension. Now, we know that first of all, financial security is key in every human life. I mean, everybody desires financial security, no matter who you are. No matter who you are, it is just that human need. It's one of major needs of human, because without your finances, how will you cope? How will you feed? How will you clothe? How will you cater for responsibilities? How will you invest? How will you have that life that you've always desired? So, financial security is key. Humans or people do everything possible to be well secured financially. And this is where we see people going to savings, investments, and even pension. Now, these are ways that people secure their finances even in old age. Like, oh, when I'm old and gray and I can't really work as much as I can when I was young, while I'm young, let me work and let me cater and secure my future. I know we've heard about that a lot, yes. So most people always want to secure their future, because it will get to a time when your body may not be able to do as much as it could when you were younger. So people save, people invest, people rely on their pension to cater for them in their old age. So we are not looking at savings, we are not looking at investments, we are looking at pension. Even though pension has a way relating to savings also, but we are focusing on pension and how to have new guidelines of having access to your pension. Now, what is pension generally, or in a layman term? Pension is just that type of fund that is paid to an employer after his retirement. I mean, in Nigeria, the retirement age is 65. So at the end of your retirement, the money you have paid, that is your pension. So when you hear pension, people start to gather their pension even while they are working. That is how pension is gathered. Your employer rather, deducts a certain percentage from your salary, and it goes into your pension, your retirement saving account, RSA. Yes. So your retirement saving account is usually different from your normal saving account, because for your retirement saving account, you cannot have access to it until you've come of a certain age. So I've explained what pension is. So it's just like after working your working years, they give you, okay, this is your money. It's just to help you. Probably you want to, after serving or working in the private sector or public sector, as the case may be, You want to set up something later in life, you want to set up a business, you want to set up something that you can use to just, sustain yourself, and still, if you have responsibilities, you still be able to meet up to your responsibilities even when you're not working again. So that is the purpose of the pension. So while you are working, a certain percentage is deducted from your salary and is kept into your savings, retirement savings account that is being managed by we call them pension fund administrators. Now, your retirement saving account is different from your normal saving account. It's called retirement saving account. You hear the name retirement saving account. So you don't have access to it until after retirement. Now, let's say I retired at the age of 40, and now I'm saying that I don't have access to my retirement saving account until retirement. Okay, now I've retired and I'm 40 years. Can I access my RSA? Now, when I mention RSA, I'm talking about your retirement saving account. Can I? I'm 40, I've retired. You said after retirement I can get my pension. Is it possible? No. Now, the age, the minimum age that you can have access to your retirement saving account is 50 years. When you are 50 years old. Now, we have some pension plans. Some pension plans where it has to be 62, some is 65. That's when you actually and above you get. But the minimum age is 50. So if I'm 40 years old and I retire now, I can't have access to my RSA until I am 50 years. 50 years is the minimum. So this pension scheme, the commission is all, everything is regulated by the Pension Reform Act of 2014. Yes. So, in the Constitution, it's the duty of the government to cater for the welfare of its people. So, the legislative arm came up with the Pension Reform Act 2014 to regulate pension and to see that this pension scheme is well managed and enforced. So we have the Pension Commission, that's PENCOM, that's the body responsible for the regulation of the scheme itself. So I've explained what pension is, I've explained how pension is gotten, I've explained the fact that it is the Pension Reform Act of 2014 that govern the framework and procedures for pension. I mentioned that PENCOM is the commission, that is the body responsible, and I've mentioned retirement saving accounts. I also mentioned pension fund administrators. Yes, so your account is meant, if you have a retirement saving account, upon employment you have a retirement saving account, you will be entrusted to a pension fund administrator that will manage your accounts for you. Now, we have different pension fund administrators in Nigeria. We have ARM Pension Managers Limited, we have Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, we have FCMB Pension Limited, we have Fidelity Pension Managers Limited, we have First Guarantee Pension Limited, we have Guarantee Trust Pension Managers Limited, we have Leadway Pension Managers Limited, and others. So these are pension fund administrators solely for managing the retirement saving account for pensioners. So let's move on. We've done the background work, we've laid the foundation. So in September this year, the PENCOM, that's the Pension Commission, approved of a guideline. They brought a new guideline, and they approved that pensioners can have access to their RSA, that's retirement saving account, to get a residential mortgage. Now, what is a mortgage? A mortgage is just a loan that you take from the bank to invest in real estate or landed property. So that loan is a mortgage. So now, before, you cannot have access to your RSA until retirement. But the new guideline is saying that as a pensioner, you can have access to your RSA, but it must be for the sole purpose of getting a residential mortgage. So if I want to have access to my RSA right now, the only reason must be that I want to use it to get a mortgage. So this guideline is in execution of section 89 sub 2 of the Act that provides that a pension fund administrator can apply for a percentage of the pension assets in the retirement saving account towards payment of equity contribution for payment of residential mortgage by the holder of the retirement saving account. So it means that it's even in the law, is in section 89 sub 2. It has been provided for. So this guideline in September, let us say they are just implementing it or executing that section. So the committee has been able to approve it, and as someone that has a retirement saving account, you can have access to it. But yes, there are guidelines. The fact that I have a retirement saving account, the fact that I'm going to be a pensioner someday, the fact that I have a pension fund administrator managing my account, does that mean I can just, okay, fine, no, since I have it, let me just go and apply for mortgage? Now there are some conditions, and that's what we want to look at as the guidelines now. The guidelines. So what are these guidelines? What are the conditions for you to be able to have access to it? Yes, you can have access to it, but of course there must be conditions and guidelines. Now, first of all, you can only have access to 25% of your balance for the mortgage purposes. So the fact that you want to get a mortgage does not mean you should apply and just wipe off all your money in your RSA. No. So you can just have access to 25% of your balance. So RSA holders that have less than 3 years to retire are not eligible. So let's say you are to retire. This is 2022. Let's say you are to retire in 2025. You are not. No, let's say 2022 is over. Let's say from 2020, 2023, 2024, 2025. Yes, 3 years. This is 2020. Yes, 3 years. So if you have just 3 years to retire, you know you're going to retire in 2025. You cannot have access. I think maybe because you're almost close to retirement, so you will still have access to it. So it's just like they're telling you, chill, calm down. You're still going to have access to it eventually. You understand? So if you have 3 years to retire, you are not eligible. You cannot have access to it. Then if you want to apply, you must have an offer letter for the property duly signed by the property owner and verified by the mortgage lender. So the landed property, I told you for landed property, right? So you must have an offer letter. That means the person you want to get the mortgage from is offering to actually let it out or sell it or rent it, whatever it is you want to do. Then also it must be verified by the mortgage lender. The mortgage lender now is where you want to get the loan from, be it a bank or any financial institution. So that's another criteria. The RSA of the applicant shall have both the employer and employee's mandatory contribution for a cumulative period of 16 months. That means for 16 months consecutively, both your employer and the employee must have contributed into your RSA. Yes, so that's another guideline. Then let's see another one here. Application for equity contribution for residential mortgage shall be made in person. That means you must make your application in person and not by proxy. So it means you are the person that wants to get the loan. You are the person that should apply for it. So another criteria is that married couples who are RSA holders are eligible to make joint application subject to individual eligibility requirements. It means, okay, as an individual, I am eligible on my own, but we want to actually take this loan as a couple. So it means the husband must be eligible, the wife must be eligible, then they can apply to take make a joint application since they are married. Then for the mortgage lender, that's the institution that you want to get the loan from, the company must be licensed by CBN, comply with the contributory pension scheme, and have a valid pension clearance certificate. So another one is that a contributor under the micro pension plan is also eligible, provided he or she has made contribution for at least 60 months. So these are the guidelines for you to get access to 25% of your RSA as a pensioner, for, remember, solely for the purpose of mortgage. So basically that is just all about today's topic on access to your retirement saving account by pensioner. So if you're a pensioner, know that you can have access to your RSA just 25% for the purpose of getting a mortgage. So this development has actually received laudable remarks. It will help solve the problem of housing and make it easier for working Nigerians to become home owners. So even while working, you can become a home owner. So basically that is it. Thank you for joining today's session. My name is Oluwatosin Isaac, and I will see you next week. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to leave a comment. And if you have any questions, you can also drop your questions and we will attend to it. Until next week, till I come your way, stay safe and stay legally inclined. Bye.